Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, a terrible piece of news coming from Ukraine, and that is Budanov's wife allegedly was poisoned. Now, Budanov is the chief spy master of Ukraine, and I'm going to discuss in this video, obviously, an article from Reuters dealing with an update. Then I'm going to discuss this from a war view. Then I will discuss it from a ethical or moral standpoint. And I will discuss that from this kind of moral standpoint. What you don't like to be done onto you, don't do it to others, or something like this, or don't do to others what you don't like to be done onto you. Obviously, that's his wife. She is innocent. She should not have been targeted. If she was targeted. I have a big if because I don't want to say I know a lot of it, but we're going to discuss the half poisoning news that came from Great Britain and other areas, like for instance Navalny half poisoned. It doesn't work that way. You're either poisoned and or you are safe. It's not like, oh, it was not the right portion or whatever the percentage of a poison. That's no such thing. It's either you go with the wheels up or you don't. But I will discuss that. Let me start with Reuters. Ukraine says wife of spy master Budanov was poisoned. Today, the 28th of November 2023. So that's his wife. And this is Budanov. Okay. I won't say anything about the picture. Okay. The wife of Ukraine's military spy chief has been poisoned with heavy metals, like Metallica or Iron Maiden or what, and is undergoing treatment in a hospital, a spokesperson for the agency said on Tuesday. Now, if you're with heavy metal, then you're kind of gone. And he is not, only she is poisoned. All right. Mariana Budanova is the wife of Kirill Budanov, who heads the Ukrainian military intelligence agency, GUR, which has been preeminently involved in clandestine operations against Russian forces since Russia's February 2022 invasion of Ukraine. Yes, I'm quoting, I can confirm the information. Unfortunately, it is true. Andriy Yusov told Reuters without clarifying when the poisoning took place. The BBC Ukrainian service cited Yusov as saying that several GUR officials had also experienced milder symptoms of poisoning. Milder. Budanov public, he's a 37-year-old. Okay, if confirmed as deliberate, the purported poisoning of his wife would represent the most serious targeting of a high-profile Ukrainian leadership figure's family member during the 21st month-long war. So they don't say, says another outlet, cited an unidentified source who said the poison was likely administered through food, and they didn't put the right amount. No, I don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't buy this kind of things. Now, let's start with this. Let's say she's not poisoned, and this is just a public relation garbage. That's fine for her and for Budanov, and that's cheap, right? Now, if she was poisoned indeed with heavy metals, she should not survive such a poisoning. Why don't you just look into it and you're going to realize that it's not like half poisoning sometimes, but if that's done with intent to get rid of someone, that is successful or doesn't touch you. What do you mean in between? They did not put enough food, the carrots or something? What's going on over there? Well, that's my first question. I mean, I'm not saying it didn't happen. But you see, Navalny, Putin's, again, he was poisoned, but he survived. Remember those guys in Great Britain? Again, they were poisoned, they survived. And all these things, all those actions were put on the Russian criminal KGB, secret police, whatever you want to call it, secret services, all of them. But somehow they did not do the right, portion or something. I don't know. I wasn't there. It's just strange how these guys, are just halfway with poison. Really. I mean, for me, that's laughable because you don't need a lot of information to realize this is garbage. I mean, if you don't know anything about this, you can say, well, then it's just if it got that close, the poison, to the subject, the target, there's no way. That's the first one. The other one is war. If you remember, the Russians claimed that the Ukrainians poisoned some of their troops. Remember that one? Well, you can say, well, that's how do you call it? That's military. This is really civilian. I agree with you, but I think that poisoning someone is the same thing with throwing gas on them, right? I think under the international law, the same thing. But nevertheless, whatever. Let's move further because I'm going to move further than that. Remember Daria Dugina? All right, so you know where I'm going with this, right? So Daria Dugina was the daughter of an intellectual who did not like certain things, and he said certain things. He said certain things. So the Ukrainian secret police did something and her car blew up. Well, how about that one? She was a media person, right? Do you remember that, how do you call that guy, the propagandist in St. Petersburg? Remember that guy that was blown up in that cafe? Again, connection with these guys and say, yes, we did it, that's great, man. That's what they said. Everything like this is great, and as many they are able to do, they're going to hunt them wherever. Remember those statements? They didn't refer to the military only. So what you don't like to be done to you, remember when this guy said that they want to assassinate Putin? Zelensky? Where you say, well, Putin deserves blah, blah, blah. Okay, do you think they would not get Putin's daughters? For instance? So, you can't claim being in a war, being involved in something that you've done already. Done it onto you doesn't have to be like, oh, I didn't touch anybody's wife. That was the daughter, but it was not the wife. Civilian. Oh, she was a propaganda. Okay, well, she provides services to Mr. Budanov so he can be fit the next day. I'm just making this way. I don't like talking about this, but I don't want to be dropping my IQ about 20 points. So I don't want to, or 30 or 40 or something. I don't want to do that. I hope she's okay, but actually, why do I care? Because I don't know exactly what's going on over there. I mean, from my perspective, I don't know what she does. I know her husband. Did he do anything to me? No. Do I think that that's acceptable to do such a thing to a family member? No. I don't think that's honorable. But on the other hand, I'm not gonna just say that it was the Russians. I don't know if it was the Russians. Maybe it was the Ukrainians. Maybe it was someone within Ukraine. Maybe it was someone else who want to get rid of him. Maybe someone wants to create a problem. So first, you can't just point the finger at your enemy necessarily. Yeah, that's the main subject. But then we should point the fingers to the United States on the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2. Main suspect, that's true. The same here. Main suspect who would like to harm her. We don't know. The Russians come up first, right? But then you don't know who Budanov also tried to assassinate or whatever enemies he's got. Well, I hope she's going to be okay. I mean, I don't think civilians and so on. No. But if I look at how they reacted, how the Ukrainians reacted to what's her name? Daria Dugina, that was horrible. Horrible celebration on this part of these guys. And these guys in the United States of America and the media here was Nothing happened. It's just a matter of fact. Someone, no, that was wrong. So the same here. If someone would celebrate that, that's definitely wrong. I hope she's okay, and I hope we really find the perpetrators, but the real perpetrators, not like the Americans found the perpetrators after September 11. Saddam, not like that, okay? But they will use it politically. Probably going to use it politically, but on the other hand, Budanov would want to get to the bottom of everything, because that means someone targets his loved ones and himself. So yeah, you can say it was the Russians, but if you find out it was, let's say, Zelensky or Zaluzny, or I'm just, then I think he wants to get the real enemies. He's not going to be like, oh yeah, it was the Russians. No, he wants to go to the bottom of that. I guarantee you that. Especially if she, succumbs to the poisoning. So he's going to be a loose cannon right here. In a way that he's going to find out who that was, and we're going to find out when he's going to say those guys are the ones behind the scenes. And now everybody's probably going to say it was Moscow. It was Moscow. Okay, whatever. It's understandable. So I hope she's doing okay. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.